About 10 months ago, I got a call from prison. The person was prisoner, not an employee. And imagine how surprised I was when he told me that he was learning coding in prison and politely asked me if I would be able to help him by giving him some advices and sending some coding tutorials and sending some code samples. Hello everyone, my name is Zura and I'm the Codeholic. On this channel I do coding tutorials and challenges, as well as some tips, tricks, advices, and sharing my stories which I think will be helpful for becoming a professional software developer. So if you are new here, consider subscribing. You might immediately have two questions. How does he manage to learn coding in prison? Does he have access to the computer and internet? Before we answer these questions, let me tell you a small story. How does he manage to find out my phone number and why he decided to contact specifically me and not someone else? If you don't know me, I come from Georgia, which is a small independent country between Europe and Asia. I have 10+ years of experience working as a professional software developer. Me and my business partners have founded right here a local IT company, and we are creating cloud-based applications for Western European countries like United Kingdom and Germany. At that time, my phone number was written on the website. And just like this, he found out my contact number. But why did he decide to contact specifically me and not someone else? Nick, who is the name of the person, told me that he has an access to a very old computer without internet. His wife is downloading some coding tutorials from YouTube, putting that on USB drive and bringing that to him. As far as his English skills are not perfect, he only watches tutorials on native Georgian language. I also have a small YouTube channel on Georgian language, just like this one, uploading some advices and coding tutorials. And he told me that once his wife brought him my PHP course, 7+ hours PHP course, and he said that he really liked my teaching skills and really enjoyed watching the video and learned a lot. He said that the video was much more detailed and descriptive than anything he watched before. So at that point he decided to contact specifically me. And probably by his wife, he found out my phone number on our company website. By the way, that PHP course is the exact same PHP course I uploaded on Traversy Media's YouTube channel, but it is on Georgian language. I was really surprised and happy and proud as well. And I immediately decided to do my best to help this person in his journey. The only concern, to be honest, I had with you was how heavy crime he had done for which he was basically in the prison. So I asked him how many more years he had remained there, and he told me that he was an accountant and he was arrested for some financial things and that he had 1 more year remained in the prison. After this, we started talking about his background, so what he learned so far in this period. So he told me that he was watching some HTML and CSS tutorials on Georgian language, and he learned some basics, and he built some small websites using these technologies. Then we agreed that his wife would reach me and I would send her coding tutorials. I told him that there was much better tutorials on English language than on Georgian language, and those tutorials were so basic friendly, even without the knowing English, he would be able to understand most of it. And the next day his wife contacted me, we exchanged email, and then I sent him some HTML basics and CSS basics. Like these are the tutorials I recommend to every beginner basically, from the channels like Traversy Media, Code with Mosh, Free Code Camp, the Net Ninja. I also sent him samples of websites. When I say I sent him, I actually mean that I sent to his wife, who actually downloaded and put that on USB drive and brought that to his husband. Okay, and this was the approach. He contacted me about 10 times. I was sending him, he was watching, he was learning, creating something his own. Then he was calling me, telling me what problems he had, what challenges he came across, what websites or applications he built. After HTML and CSS, we moved into JavaScript. I sent him some basics of JavaScript, crash course, as well as some vanilla JavaScript playlist, which is really good playlist from Traversy Media's YouTube channel. And I sent him Flooring Pop's 10 project in 10 hours video, which is awesome, by the way. After this, he contacted me and he told me that he did a couple of things. He watched the videos. However, he had also problems like he wasn't able to play large videos because the PC was really old, and that the Flooring Pops 10 project was, for example, he wasn't simply able to play this video because it's a 10 hours video. So he had a lot of problems, a lot of difficulties, but my point is that he was always trying to find a solution, watching different ones, experimenting, building something on his own. He had never stopped in the past 10 months. The next step was basically I sent him Vue.js crash course and Vue.js samples of code. However, sending the Vue.js tutorials, just tutorials would not be enough, because in every crash course basically you have to create Vue.js application and you have to run npm install, and npm install requires internet, and he didn't have access to the internet. So I packed a small project with node modules and everything that was necessary to run the Vue.js project, and I sent that to him. I sent him also Node.js installation. He learned some basics of Vue.js, and then he built some small applications, and then we moved into PHP side. So I think the pace, the spent time on each technology was much smaller than it should be in real world. For example, in Vue.js, we didn't have much flexibility, because after he learned some basics and built some small applications, he needed to start using the API and to create some similar to real-world applications, right? But he didn't have internet access, so he wouldn't be able to use some third-party APIs. So we decided to learn basics of PHP, learn basics of Laravel, and sent him some tutorials to create small server on our own and create then API which would be used by the front end. Quick pause right here. The only thing I ask for is like, subscribe and share. But if you really love my content and want to do something even more, check my donation pages, Patreon, and buy me a coffee. I really appreciate every single cent you donate. And it's gonna give me much more motivation to keep creating free educational content. I also created Discord server, which is at the moment only available for my Patreons. So as soon as you become a Patreon, you will have access to the Discord server on which you can ask your questions, post your problems, and I will personally assist you there. Sorry for interruption, let's get back to the video. Okay, and he watched also some PHP challenges, coding samples, some Laravel projects. I also sent him some sample projects, open source projects of Laravel. Some of projects were mine, some of projects were from someone else. You know, like the full stack application of Laravel is one of the most viewed one of my videos, so I sent that to him because it contained also Vue. And he was calling me again and giving me some feedbacks. He had a lot of problems, to be honest, sometimes he wasn't able to run the PHP server, or the database wasn't working perfectly. But the main thing is that he was struggling, he was experimenting, he was trying his best, and he was achieving something. He asked me a couple of times how many months it would be necessary to get hired as a developer. I told him that I couldn't say anything about this because it really depends on the person, on the situation and everything. I told him what I believe is that when you come out, when you are released from prison, you won't be able to immediately start working because you have really limited access to everything. Okay, you learn a lot of basics, but when you come out, you have to add 1 or 2 months additional hard work with internet, with all the resources, and you have to pack your knowledge together to create some real-world applications, maybe create some portfolio as well, and then you will be able to get a job and start working like this. He also told me that he had really good background in math. Of course, he was an accountant, and he was helping his children in math from prison. He was creating some mathematical examples and sending them to his children to evaluate and find solutions on that, and their children had really good grades in math, which is inspiring and really motivational for me. I got excited when I was listening what he was able to do from prison, from place where like doing something seems like an impossible thing. Some heavy machineries started working outdoor, and it was impossible due to the background noise to record there. So, what should we learn from Nick's experience? There are 3 main things I want to mention. First, if you want to learn coding and you have access to computer and you have internet, you have no excuses. You definitely can learn if you work hard, if you really want, if you struggle, if you work, if you experiment, you will finally make it happen and you will be able to learn. Even if you don't have fluent English skills, you still need to watch the tutorials because most of the tutorials are beginner friendly, like the HTML crash course, CSS crash course. Basically everything what starts from scratch is beginner friendly and you can start. You can watch the screen, and even if the videos have subtitles, that might be helpful for you. You can pause the video, you can have a look at the subtitle, read it if you didn't understand certain things. I am sure it's not going to be fun, it's going to be really difficult, but you will still able to achieve it. And if you have decent English skills to understand what's happening in the video and you have access to the internet, that's all what you need. You just need to work really, really hard like this person is doing. The second main thing is that always ask help when you need. The worst thing what might happen is get a refuse. But the best thing what might happen is that you might get some help, like he did. So he asked for help. Maybe I'm not the best person to help him. I don't know how much I helped, but at least it was something more than nothing. He got some tutorials, beginner friendly, like most watched tutorials on YouTube. He got some code samples. He experimented. He got also some advices. So as he told me, I managed to help him, and I'm really proud and excited to be part of his success. And try to ask help. Okay, no one's gonna hit you if they don't want to help you. So just try. If one person refuses, try to contact to another one whenever you need that. And the third thing I want to mention is only watching tutorials is not enough. You have to start coding today. And Nick actually knew this even before me telling him that he had to build something. Just watch the tutorial and then build whatever is built in this tutorial. And if you are stuck, then reference back to the tutorial, and just like this you will be able to manage and grow and build something. You might reference back to the tutorial 10 times, but that's okay. Okay, reference back and finally you have to build. And then you can delete all what you built and start again from scratch. About a week ago I got the last call from Nick. He told me that he signed some papers and he was expected to be released in about a month. He was really excited and I was really excited. So when he's released, of course, we're gonna have a meet, we're gonna exchange our ideas, and I will know more what he learned there, and we will have definitely much more possibilities to communicate and exchange some links and useful resources. I'm gonna continue helping this person because I believe that he can definitely become a great software developer in a few months time, and he has all what he needs. Like, he has passion, he has dedication, he has motivation, and more importantly he is really hardworking, and I believe that he can definitely reach his goals. And I think that's it for this video, guys. I hope you liked it. Let me know in the comment section if you know such persons who are learning coding from impossible places. Like for me, it was previously impossible to learn coding from prison. Definitely let me know in the comment section. I will be really excited to read such stories, and it's gonna be example for everyone else who is watching this video. Alright guys, thanks for watching. If you are new to my channel, hit the subscribe button. If you like the video, hit the like button, and I will see you in the next time.